And I just want to warn the Speaker that please, this Parliament, if you surrender your own authority as a Speaker of Parliament, one day you will have corporals walking in to pick you. So you are as strong as the institution of Parliament itself. If you participate in denigrating and weakening Parliament, you are weakening yourself.
Ssemujju Nganda came out to show the incompetence of the current Speaker, Honorable ANITA Among. He came out when he made a speech during the passing of the UPDF Amendment Bill. And he shows you the incompetence of ANITA Among, which I've always been talking about. We all know that ANITA Among and Ssemujju are great friends. But Ssemujju Nganda is one of the people who would even come out to speak ill if you do something wrong. It's the reason as to why even Ssemujju Nganda at a certain point, they wanted to capture him by giving him fictitious trips. Okay, I think those trips came because of the proximity in friendship. But nevertheless, he came out to show how incompetent the Speaker is, how the Speaker is so partisan, to an extent that he goes in NRM caucuses and he come with a predetermined mind. To some extent that sometimes even if the majority of MPs come out with a no, he says yes. Or when they come out to say yes, he says no, depending on what General 7 wants. And for me, I think it's one of the main reasons as to why the Speaker of Parliament finds hard for government policy to pass, because he has sanctions. So he would do anything for General 7 if he wants something on the floor of Parliament to pass. So in this episode, I've come to talk about the assessment which were made by Honorable Ssemujju Nganda, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the sedimentaries we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagri. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. First of all, truth is, very many people who are around ANITA Among talk about his sweetness. He's a jolly person, he jokes a lot. But when it comes to the running of Parliament, he's the one of the most incompetent Speaker of Parliament to ever live in the history of Uganda. If you compare previous speakers, okay, from Sekandi, even Museveni himself, Rebecca Kadaga, okay, and this person from the West Nile, okay, you clearly see that he does not know how to run Parliament. That even when members of Parliament speak, he normally cuts them short. He wants to be the Speaker, at the same time he wants to debate in Parliament. And many of the times he has been partisan. When the UPDF Amendment Bill was being passed, he had a predetermined mind of passing the bill, and this has always been the case. And Ssemujju Nganda talked about this. In fact, Honorable Ssemujju Nganda said these statements. Here's the tape.
I have no faith that the Speaker of Parliament will conduct Parliament as per rules, because in many cases she doesn't do. So you expect her to begin also conducting herself as part of the NRM group. That's what she did in the budget. I'm presenting a report, she's stopping me. I haven't established that she was part of the meeting last evening, but she has attended the other caucus meetings, and she's subordinated herself with NRM decisions. And they said resolutions of NRM caucus. So everybody now is bound. So what you're going to see here are just bodies, busy bodies coming here to say aye, because that's what the master told them, and they resolved to do so. And I just want to warn the Speaker that please, this Parliament, if you surrender your own authority as a Speaker of Parliament, one day you will have corporals walking in to pick you. So you are as strong as the institution of Parliament itself. If you participate in denigrating and weakening Parliament, you are weakening yourself.
That is Honorable Ssemujju Nganda. Remember, they are friends, and it is true. In fact, I would prefer Thomas Taiba to run the House than ANITA Among, because many of the times ANITA Among runs Parliament with emotions. In bigger parliaments, even a speaker, under the rules of procedure, the speaker cannot be called to order. But in bigger parliaments, even members of parliament stand against against their speakers if they do wrong. If you do that to ANITA Among, you would feel offended. And we are humans, we err. Okay? For example, you remember when Honorable Ssemujju came out to tell ANITA Among to apologize for calling a member, to jeering to a member. I think it was a member of for Nansana municipality. He came out to say, I'm apologizing because you are big. What? There is a way he answered it. Yet in bigger democracies, it's okay for human to error. What the speaker would have said is, you come out to say, maybe I was so emotional and I jeered you. I think I'm sorry. It doesn't make you weaker. It makes you stronger. These things have happened a lot. The speaker has been partisan, the way he handles his members of parliament. Sometimes he calls them by name. Nansana, Kampala, with their constituency. Yet, under the rules of procedure, you are supposed to address a member with a type to honorable. So if the presiding officer keeps on breaking the rules of procedure, keeps on breaking the constitution, what do you expect of that? And we don't normally see that with Taiwo. I don't like the NRM regime, but Taiwo is better off run parliament than ANITA Among. Even when Taiwo is president of the house, members of parliament joke with him, they pull him to the extreme, and he gives and lets them to be. ANITA Among intervenes in every speech of the honorable member who comes out to speak, most especially when he doesn't agree with that. The Speaker of Parliament must be a partial umpire. You may have your party, but it's supposed to be a partial umpire, not to be partisan. To understand that sometimes reporting ministers to the president, the government has a team of people to represent them on the floor of parliament, from the prime minister, deputy prime minister, almost 3 deputy prime ministers, a chief whip. Okay? And the Speaker of Parliament goes to president to report ministers. It's the duty of the prime minister. I showed that and was so baffled. So it shows you the incompetence on how to run the house. And it is even going to come to become more worse. Remember, ANITA Among was sanctioned, so he will do anything to pass these laws, so as long as he can be adhering to the regime. Okay? So if Honorable Ssemujju can come out to say this, and he's your friend from FDC, okay, it is the right thing. The Speaker of Parliament should learn that in the House, you must also give way to the people you dislike. In fact, you must even give them more platform, to the people you dislike or to the opinions you dislike. But also to stop disrupting members who are giving out speeches. If you want to rule over the person, let him first speak, then give a ruling. I normally see him interrupt very many opposition leaders when they are talking about things he doesn't want to hear. And that is so unfortunate. And that is what Genome 7 wants, to take the legislature to the executive, to take parliament, to subjugate parliament, so that parliament can act as a rubber stamp. During Kadaga, there are some things you could stand against from the executive, very many. And at one moment, Genome 7 came out to say that Kadaga is having a problem with Kadaga. But that's what's supposed to be. Because there are 3 arms of government which are supposed to work independently but working again with each other, not one subjugating the other. So Honorable Ssemujju is right. Of course, that's my opinion. Do make comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, employ to subscribe, like and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.
Abampala no bulungi nange benjagala obulungi.